Good morning, Thursday, the 9th of May, and we're going to look at today's astrology. And also, I want to talk a little about the secrets of the cosmos, the way it organizes itself, because it's extremely clever. And we can see this unfolding in astrology. It's a very rare glimpse. Okay, so I've set a chart up, and we are now going to see it. There we go. So let's just recap on yesterday. So if you didn't hear yesterday's video, go back and see it, then you're in with the process. So the moon was conjunct the sun, but also in Taurus. We had a new moon in Taurus. Now the moon has moved on, and here we see the moon and a new sign there. That's Gemini. So the moon has moved out of Taurus and into Gemini. Now, this highlights something, the very ingenious and clever process of the cosmos. Each of these zodiac signs is so completely different from the previous zodiac sign. And what they do is they alter and change the energy that you have just been into brand new energy in a very significant way. Each one is a big jump on into something that tears down or breaks down or completely changes, like a sea change, the previous environment. And in this way, there is a movement towards growth, because if something is being broken down, it is being replaced by something better. I know some people argue that. I actually think the spiral means that, yes, we're going round and we will once again visit this place and know it for the first time, because the spiral action means we're on the same place, but we're higher or lower, whichever word you want to use. So, because the moon has moved into Gemini, we now have an emphasis on the air element. Not just that, the moon has also what we call trined, which means it has moved to 120 degrees, or a triangle, if you like, of the 360 degrees of the circle. 120 degrees, so 1/3 of that circle. And that is a known aspect in astrology for being harmonious, but I think it facilitates. It puts them hand in hand. It allows an exchange between them, which is not conflicted or difficult or blocked. There is an easy flow of energy. They're in the same element to start with. So Pluto in Aquarius has had a trine from the moon in the last few hours. So what this has done, it has increased the amount of air element in the atmosphere, in the environment. The available air element to all of us has been increased. What does that mean? Well, okay, so there we were, stuck in Earth, stuck in Taurus, very grounded. Oh yes, stubborn old Taurus. There's a lovely thread, by the way, on my Facebook business page. So my Facebook business page is Alison Chester-Lambert with a hyphen, Chester-Lambert. On there's some lovely comments from Taureans, or people with a lot of Taurus in their chart, talking about how they felt whilst all that emphasis was on Taurus. And what's coming through is how very tired they were. Yes, I thought that was, it's a really interesting. I'm a research astrologist, so I record all of these things in a journal, and I think that's lovely. When we get a lot of Taurus in the atmosphere, the Taureans, already carrying a lot of Taurus, get a double load of Taurus and feel tired. That's great. Anyway, so Gemini is a light, bright, juvenile atmosphere. It's not particularly advanced. It's not terribly spiritual. It comes with a purpose, and that is to learn language, and learn the subtle art of conversation, which doesn't always use words. It can also be about mannerisms, something that we notice, about the way people talk. They might be using their hands, and Gemini notices these things. It doesn't know what to do about it. It just notices them. It's a sign that collects loads and loads of energy, information. Sorry, I should have said information, not energy. It collects loads of information, like a magpie collecting stuff, a whole library of information. Everybody with a lot of Gemini has a huge pile of books with bookmarks halfway through somewhere in the house, usually by the bedside. Anyway, so it collects all this information, and doesn't really know what to do with it. That's the job of Sagittarius, which is the opposite sign to Gemini. But anyway, so Gemini breaks down that heavy fixity of Taurus. It shatters it. Gemini can't bear being stuck in something and doesn't want to be that dense. And so Gemini goes, oh, no, thank you. Let's just fly off. Tinkerbell, think Tinkerbell. Think butterflies. Think anything that just doesn't remain around long. So flashes of light, for instance. So the Aquarius Gemini link has literally been to increase the availability of communication, because Aquarius is a communicator with the cosmos, not with people. Aquarius doesn't like people. It's true. But Gemini is a local communicator, more of a down-to-earth communicator between people. A moon Pluto link. Pluto introduces us to the fact that there is a primordial existence, that we are a grain of sand on a whole beach, which is being moved and sifted and worked on. It's an energy which most people can feel as if it's overbearing, it can feel controlling or frightening. But in actual fact, it is an energy which is there to take us through to the next phase, to turn whatever it is into what it must become. Okay, and the moon is our yin. The moon actually is not as soft and fluffy as people might think. There is an element of fear involved with the moon, an element of caution, an element of vulnerability about it, because it is the feminine, and that is how the feminine feels. So moon Pluto, it can be a little bit as if you're in a forest in the middle of the night and then a snap. Okay, and it's dark and you can't see, and you're, what was that noise? It can feel a little bit like that. But the moon is so brief, it's only there for a couple of hours, and then it goes on. And so these things fade with the morning light. Okay, now, so what I wanted to make a point of was the process. So the process of moving out of exhilaration, exuberation, and just pure energy of Aries, getting up, awaking, being vibrant, energetic, infusing everything with life, into sedentary, purposeful Taurus, which is going to establish and form. I didn't tell you this, but it is on the Facebook page. After I was talking to you about the Taurus, I went out into my garden. My neighbour's making a patio, mixing concrete, whatever they call it, mortar. And funnily enough, my partner had chosen that day to also mix concrete or mortar, whatever it is, to do something in the garden. And I was like, that's amazing. So two men who, quite frankly, neither of them was interested in astrology, nevertheless find themselves doing something that astrology would have said that they would want to do that day, and so they did. But anyway, so moving out of there, so getting the Taurus, nailing it down, and then too much fixity is getting too heavy. Everything is too resistant, too obstinate, too stubborn. Bring in some air, throw the window open, lighten the atmosphere with Gemini, make it all a little bit, whew, that's better. And there we have it. That is the process of growth written into the zodiac signs of astrology, but also, as far as I'm concerned, written into the patterning, the DNA, the blueprint for the universe, if we're looking at one verse, or the cosmos, if we're looking at a multiverse. There we go. So I hope that was interesting. It's not always going to be about prediction this season of daily looks at the astrology. It will also be about teaching if you don't know it, or learning if you don't know it. Some of the ways of the cosmos, some of those secrets of astrology that can give you enlightenment, spiritual moments of, oh, right, that's my intention. So, but I actually didn't even know I was going to do this. It just came upon me and I did it. And I thought I couldn't do it, did it, because I couldn't handle the software. And now I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Can't wait to record these. So I think there's something about how the cosmos says it's time for some of this stuff to get out there. This is all the stuff that I've never really bothered to talk to people about. Anyway, I shall see you tomorrow. And thank you for listening. I hope everything was good with that. Don't forget, I do readings if ever you feel like you want to have a consultation. And don't forget my new book out, The Easy Way to Learn Astrology. And believe me, it is the easy way to learn astrology, because I couldn't learn astrology to start with. It was too hard. And then when I did learn it, I thought this could be made a lot easier. And so I've written a whole program of learning. There is a Facebook page again, The Easy Way to Learn Astrology, Alice and Chester-Lambert, and the book's only £13. I think you can get a discount off that as well from the publisher Inner Tradition. You can get it on Amazon, but if you get it from Inner Tradition, it's nicer because the publisher keeps all the profit then, instead of it all going to Amazon. Doesn't sound very kind of me, does it? Anyway, it's been fantastic to talk to you. I've really enjoyed it as usual. Thank you. Bye.